20 minutes into the tutorial and not even a single picture on the output. I'm sorry, but yeah, we will now start the journey. Okay, so pressing F1 in Vimix will give you this window, and I have to admit, the first time I saw it, I was like, what does this mean? So I was used to Resolve and Bitwig and other VJing softwares. Everything was like tiled, you know, left, right, bottom to top to bottom. No, this is different, and even if it's maybe a little strange in the beginning, you will start to love it when you're using it. So basically this means in the middle no, I'm not explaining now, I'm just loading something. Okay, starting with just a PNG, a still image. Okay, drag and drop it from your file browser to the surface of Vimix, and there you have it. Normally a newly imported file will show up at exactly this corner, and by this simple tada, finally we have some picture. Yeah, I know. Basically you can say that this interface is separated into three important areas. It's the outside area, everything that is well, it's not light gray, but the lightest of them, so it's light gray. Then the area where it gets a little bit darker gray until this circle, and the third area is inside the circle. So I would call this inactive area, the outside area, inactive area. The second one is active area but not showing, and the third area is showing, so changing the alpha value of the clip. So basically by moving it inside, I think it's pretty clear what it means. Inactive means if it is a clip, maybe I show you just I will show you a clip. So clips compared to still images have moving images, right? So you can see this is a little clip. So if a video clip is outside of this area, it means it's inactive. That means it is not playing. If you move it into this area, it is playing but not already showing. And if you moving it further into the circle, it means that your alpha value of the clip is changing and it starts to show up. Yeah, this is what it's all about these three areas. Okay, next thing is I want to talk about mixing modes. So double click on one of the sources means options show up here. For clips, this means slightly different than for stills, but what is in common? The blending mode. If you throw together some sources, you can here say how you want to mix them. Screen would be based on alpha values being transparent, overlaying each other. But there are still some other modes like subtract or multiply. I think if you know some other VJing softwares or even GIMP or Photoshop or whatever, where it's about mixing together images, you will be familiar with those. Further on, you have you can enable on every source you can enable a color correction. If you do this, yeah, you can change colors and whatnot. That's for the sake of changing something. You can change brightness, for example, and if you want to go back to the default value of 0, just click on the value and it goes back. So Another big thing that kept me quite a while occupied with my system is to get hardware decoding up and running. Also, this is fairly Ubuntu and graphics card thing. If you get this running, if you get hardware acceleration, hardware decoding up and running on your system, you can use it, and I really recommend it. It makes things a lot faster and more stable. So your CPU is not on heavy load all the time. So it's enabled. You can see it here. You can even disable this for, I think, different sources. Never tried it. Go ahead and try if you want to. So let me tell you something about clone and filter. So if you want to have some neat effects on your clips or your sources, you could just clone one of your sources. So if I move this out here, so notice that it stays active even if if I'm pushing it now out of this area, it will stay active because its clone is inside the active area. So it will keep running this way. So cloning a source means that you have other options to deal with it. Some nice effects that you can set up here. So this would be a delay filter, resample. what I really like, since I'm a 90s guy, I like etching, right? Even different etching filters that you can choose from. Yeah, fiddle around. And what will be an extra tutorial is custom shaders. So since Bruno implemented this in Vimix, I'm just addicted. Write some GLSL shaders and test them. And if you wrote something good, something that you like, you can use them here in Vimix. This is just incredible. But as I said, this will be a complete tutorial. So not going to talk about that at the moment. So this is about filtering your sources. I'm going to delete that, just pushing it in here. And we are going to talk about another tool that you can find here. It's the player tool. So within the player tool, you can see you can see your clip running or your source that is selected, and within the player window, you have some options to handle your source. So, for example, at the moment it's just running until the end, and then starting from the start again. You can choose another mode. Bounce mode is like ping pong. It's another software, as it's called. You can click again. This would mean stop at end, because now it was running backwards, so it stops at the end. If it's running forward, it will stop at the no. At the moment, it stops at the start because it was running backwards. If you click on it this way, it will stay. Yeah, no, we got it. No, it will stop at the end. Okay, I'm going just for ping pong mode at the moment. No, for loop. And showing you another thing, you can change the play speed of your clips just by dragging this number, or even double click and then type in whatever you want to. So this will change the speed of your clip. Within this one, I mean, yeah, start and pause, and even go back. So this would be some fast forward stuff. this is going back to the start. Then you have some. Then you have two features over here. You can open the panel. This means you could somehow do a little editing on your clip. So let's say if you're in this mode, if you're using the fading tool, you can just fade in and fade out your clip by just drawing into this segment here. Nice, whatever you need to do. So even some presets. How was this? Oh, you have to drag and drop them, right? So there are some presets if you don't want to draw into here, but use these Bezier curves. Drag them here. Now you can use them, or even some slowly fade in, fade out. Yeah, this is the auto. Another feature that I didn't fiddle around with, so I cannot tell you what it's meant to be, but I'm pretty sure if you do, you will find out. Back to cutting tool. If your clip is too long, you just want to get rid of the parts that you don't want to see. Means get this little scissor into here. Hold your left mouse button and just cut out what you don't want to see. So you can even do something like that, or just end and beginning. Yeah. Having a better view of what you're doing in the timeline means you can zoom in and out with this one. And in this little menu here, there's nothing too new. You can reset the speed, you can reload the source, and maybe something that comes in handy is restart on reactivation. What this does is normally if you, so I'm going to show you, I'm going to compare it. If you have not activated it, if you push your source out of the area and pull it out and push it back in, it will just play from where it stopped. It will resume from where it stopped. So if you don't want that, if you want to restart your clip on every time you get it into the active area, you would have to select this feature, restart on reactivation. I keep that for the end of the tutorial, because here's also capturing. As we did with output, you can capture a single frame of what is playing, or you can just capture this clip, not the whole output, but this clip. Here you can say what it's going to be, sequential files if you choose. I know it's always, I think it's always sequential, so it's not going to save an MP4 or a video clip, it's going to save single frames, but sequential. Okay, another big thing here is what you can do here under user selection. So I'm gonna make this wider for the moment. So let's say, so we have two sources here. Let's say I just click one of them. You can see this is where you would deal with it and do all the changes you want to that source. But you can also select several sources. So for the player window, this would mean you can see both of them selected. So nothing too special about this this view, but you can create so-called batches. This comes in very handy, especially if you want to mix a whole batch. I'm not going to call this selection, but because this is a little confusing. This is a selection. As soon as you're selecting one or more sources, you have a selection that you can do stuff to. Maybe here. But if you want to be able to control more sources at once, I'm always using create batch. So this means we have a batch where these two sources are loaded. You can see which ones here in a list. You can load them into the batch or just throw them out. So this can be done here. And what is really handy about this is when you are using MIDI controllers or OC commands. Of course, I'm going to do some tutorials on this. But if you want to control whole batches from the outside with MIDI controllers, this is how you do it. Get your sources. So select the sources you want to have in a batch that you want to control with a single MIDI controller. Maybe a fader or whatnot, and get them into a batch. So again, just for the purpose of how to do this, I'm going to delete this batch. I'm going to select these two. At the moment, I see the user selection, and I'm going to create a batch. So this is batch number 0. You have to keep that in mind if you want to control it from the outside. It's controlled by batch 0. Okay. If you want to go back to your user selection, or if you're wondering how to now modify and edit this clip, you have to go from batch back to user selection. So if you choose user selection, it only shows what you have selected in your interface here. Okay, I hope this is somehow clear. It will get clearer later on, I hope, when we are going to talk about OC messages or MIDI controllers. So I think for now, this is everything I wanted to show you. Just let me see timer. Yeah, it is. So So I hope this was somehow helpful to get started with the basics in Vimix. There will be a lot more. See you.